It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com. For some reason, this is not closing. There it goes. There it goes. Click. This is computer wizardry going on here.
And you are the wizard.
Yes. You hear the sounds. Click.
All you need is the big curtain, and then we could open it up, and there's Todd.
Yeah.
Pay no attention.
That would not be wizardry. It is time for our monthly segment with ICTC, and Kelly Fox is here. We're going to introduce you to a new instructor at ICTC during this segment, presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. Good morning to Kelly Fox, and good morning as well to Ben Hollobaugh, who is the newly hired instructor for the ICTC Electrical Occupations Program. Hi to both of you.
Good morning, Todd. Thanks for having us.
Good to have you both with us here today. And Kelly, you brought what are those?
Oh, yes. So, we always have to give a big shout out to our culinary arts department and graphics, right? Yeah. 2 programs represented with one presentation.
Look at that.
So we have nice cherry Danish this morning, made fresh and only for you, Todd.
Well, if you say it that way, the people upstairs have no shot at getting any of those.
Yeah, and it's a little, there's just a nice display there. If you want to share, you can. If not, in a couple of days, I think that could be taken care of.
It would be nice.
Yes.
It would be nice, but I'm not a nice person. Okay, so let's talk about Ben and his new position. Ben is brand new to the program.
He is new to the electrical occupations program in some ways. Yeah, so I was thinking about, we always like to bring out new people here to the radio to introduce to our community. Mm-hmm. And we had 4 new hires this year. In our instructional staff across the board and IT. And so 3 of the 4 have a previous relationship with the ICTC. And last month we met Nathan Miller. He was a former student, rather young guy coming in to be an IA in digital. And here we have a little bit more mature, but not too mature, Ben Hollobaugh. Yes, it is a compliment, just by comparison. Ben was a former student as well, back in the day, let's say it that way. And most recently, though, he was also our maintenance supervisor. So he's very familiar with the ICTC. And so when we have these employees coming into us new who have former relationships with us from either being students or former employees in other positions, it just speaks volumes, I believe, to what we're doing at the ICTC and how invested we are.
Ben, you're an Armagh boy.
I am. I'm from Armagh. Grew up there pretty much my whole life until I moved away for a short time, and then ended up buying a house in Homer City with my wife. So.
Yeah. So ICTC as a student.
Yes, I graduated in 2007, electrical occupations, the same program I'm teaching right now. Mr. Lutton was my instructor. The aide at the time was Miss Miller. Loved going there. Was there all 3 years. Graduated with a lot of good guys who all have very lucrative electrical careers now.
Yeah.
And I was very excited actually to get back into the buildings, very nostalgic walking through and remembering being there and things like that. And now to be a teacher is just it's just a dream come true. I've just never thought I'd be here, and
one or two changes to that place since you were last there, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. yeah, and some things still a little bit the same. Definitely very much nostalgia when I walk through. Every day I walk through, it's like I'm 16 again walking through that place.
Yeah. So tell me where your electrical journey has taken you since you left ICTC.
Well, I left ICTC and I did a little bit of electrical work for a short period of time, and then I went into being a mechanic and pretty much jack of all trades. I did all kinds of different stuff, and then eventually ended up circling back to doing electrical work. I worked for a senior living company for 4 or 5 years. They owned a bunch of buildings all through Pennsylvania and other states. One in town's called Moorhead Place. I actually worked there as the maintenance guy there. Did a ton of electrical work. We talked about upgrading things and did some modifications of the building, and I worked there for a good period of time. And then when I found out ICTC was looking for somebody, I said, man, I got to put in my hat for that one.
There you go. You go. That diversity of experience has to be very helpful, Kelly.
It is, and just knowing Ben, the adult Ben, he is a very hands-on person and can just figure things out. You can just see that when he's on a project, those gears are turning in ways that mine do not. And so it's very nice to have somebody with his skill set being able then to give back to our students, because what he's doing in the classroom really relates to his job experiences, and he's able to share his talents then with them and set them off to do similar types of skills.
And Ben, that type of work that you've done down through the years, it really highlights the fact that there's more than one career in the electrical occupation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, actually, one of the things I keep bringing up to my students is just what's going on with all the hurricanes. I mean, there's pictures everywhere, a lineman lined up, getting ready to fix things, and I always tell everybody when those things happen, that's one of the people you call, the linesman.
Sure.
It's always something to do, and you can always take those skills and move them into anything. I mean, as long as you have a general understanding of electrical or anything in that field, it's pretty much the sky's the limit with anything. Anything electrical-wise is useful.
It reminds me of carpentry in that there's rough carpenters, there are finished carpenters, and the various different levels of experience that you can get. It really is that way in the electrical field too. You could be climbing a pole, you could be working in a basement or overhead in the ceiling, working on the pan. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah, you could even something I incorporate into what I teach is something that Mr. Lutton did too, and that's even pricing of things, so that if a student were to leave and start their own business, they would kind of have a foundation on how that works. That way, if they wanted to start their own electrical business and they went into quoting for other people, they would know how to do something like that. And we teach them how to think their way through the projects if they were to quote something for a person, if they were doing their own business, and just using those skills in a bunch of other ways too.
I think one of the interesting things to me about the electrical field is, if say you're putting up a building, somebody's putting up a building, obviously they're going to need electric. And that need for electric is something that they're not going to be the expert in. So they call in somebody who is an electrician, and there's more than one way to wire a building.
Absolutely.
There are all kinds of different things to figure in, and everybody brings their own little signature to it, don't they?
They do, yeah, and that's something I try and stress with them too. Is nobody wants to hire a messy electrician, so I always say, if you do a good job and it looks good too, then that's only going to benefit you. You have an inspector check one of your jobs and everything's nice and neat and well organized. They're going to go, wow, I want this person doing every job that I inspect. Yeah, it's something I like passing on. I think it's very important, and I definitely think that it's something that's a little lost nowadays on certain trades. So it's good to bring it in.
Take me into the classroom. How many students are there in the electrical occupations at ICTC, and just what are their expectations?
Well, we have, I believe the current count is 35 students, so between AM and PM, morning and afternoon. Their expectations, basically unanimously in open house, everyone I asked why electrical, almost every answer was money. They all want money, which I completely understand. Makes the world go around, but they have a lot of interest. Anytime I bring up a certain topic, when are we going to learn about that? They seem very interested in even just the way that things work, like the power grid system and how we get what we have. And then I try and sprinkle in a little bit of history too to teach them kind of where we've come from, because without certain people, we wouldn't be where we are today in the electrical field. So their expectation seems to be that they will leave, know what they're doing, obviously, and then hopefully in their mind make a ton of money. So that's what they want.
When you think about the electrical occupations, and we think in comparison to other type occupations, the tech field, whatever it happens to be, all kinds of innovations, they seem to come at us in waves.
Oh, yes.
And I assume it's that way in electricity as well, that it's not just the juice is outside the building, I need to get it inside the building. There are all kinds of different products and new technologies to learn.
Absolutely. I mean, even something as simple as just how they know if something is damaged or needs repaired in the field. There are so many computer systems and things like that now that can analyze all of that stuff for you and can give you a lot of that information that would have taken a lot more rigorous testing to get to. Obviously, learning that testing procedure, you're not always going to have those luxuries. Believe it or not, a lot of the transformers, things like that on the poles are very old. It's not odd to pull one down and it be from the 50s or the 40s. Yeah, and they just keep on chugging. And There's new tool technologies. There's new metering technologies. Even the equipment they use to work on them is new. It's ever changing. I've seen things even recently that I thought, man, where the heck was that when I was doing it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it is nice having that situation with tools and the new tech. And I try and teach them the old ways and then explain to them why they want to get the new good stuff because it'll help them out.
Sure. And I bet you the first class starts with safety.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to be safe. It's even something as simple as, how you conduct yourself around the panel and treating everything like it's energized. Those are all very basic and very important things to know because one mistake and it could be bad. So we got to make sure we teach them to respect it and understand it so that they don't make those kind of mistakes.
Nice use of the word conduct.
Conduct.
When we're talking to an electrician, huh?
Yeah.
It's probably one of his favorite words, right?
Oh yeah, I say it a lot.
Kelly, are the educational occupations taught only at the school level, or do they go to adult ed too?
Oh, no. Electrical occupations is always open to both. Yes. Yeah. So adult students as well as high school students are available. So some of those seats could be filled by adults in our community. So if you're listening this morning looking for a lucrative career and a wonderful instructor, Ben Hollobaugh, Electrical Occupations, ICTC.
Well, when you think about the trades, that is a key one there. They're all key. I mean, they all have a very, very important application to anything in the trade world.
Absolutely. I was thinking that on the drive in because, we haven't talked yet with our carpentry teacher and now construction trades, but construction trades is enveloping all of those skills that are so necessary out in that construction field. And so there is a little piece now of electrical even in our construction trades program,
Absolutely.
just like there's a little piece of masonry. There is some carpentry, some HVAC. So there's going to be that worker that is well-rounded in all verses of the construction so that they can go to an employer and be in a project and just not have to subcontract out to that specialist, but be able to do the work themselves.
Yeah.
So
right.
It's very exciting, very, very opportunities abound, let's just say,
Something
very
big.
lucrative.
It's a big field. It really, really is.
Right.
Ben, so good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
Have fun at school today.
Oh, I will.
Just like your mom used to tell you when you used to have fun at school today.
Have fun
this
at
time you
school.
don't have to take a test; you get to give them.
That's
yeah,
right.
and he's been with us long enough now. Our first quarter's just about to end next week. So we'll be off and running, running to that halfway point.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost started the second quarter next week. So that's really good. Coming up at the beginning of November, we're going to be mixing with our business and industry professionals that support the ICTC. So we'll have our occupational advisory committee meetings. And so looking forward to meeting with those business and industry representatives that help us make decisions about equipment and skills that are needed. And we're really looking forward to that. And our Skills USA students will be headed off to Seven Springs at the end of the month as well for a leadership
Really?
conference.
It is time for that too.
And when we come back in
goodness.
1 month, guess what it will be, Todd?
What shall it be then?
It's going to be parade season. Can you believe that?
Already working towards that.
November 22nd will be the parade downtown. So ICTC's involved in that as well.
Well, terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. They always are. Yeah, and there's a lot of electricity goes into that too.
And they're helping with the lights.
We're trying to upgrade and make it look even nicer than last year. So our goal is to everyone say, wow, that looks so much better than last year. That's what we're hoping.
We had a group of visitors in the other day, and they were really impressed with how many of the light displays are sitting in the electrical occupations program. So Ben's doing a great job with that and doing some community service with his students.
Good stuff from ICTC. It is the voice of Indiana County. Thank you both for coming in today.
Thanks
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
us.
Thanks for having us.
It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Fox News is next at the top of the hour. Josh Whittison from our WCCS newsroom right after that.